All right, once again, we have come to the point where we are dealing with subtracting and negatives and fractions, but this time it's mixed numbers. And so hopefully by this point you've noticed that if anything's going to mess you up, it's going to be this. So this is one we've really got to focus and pay attention and really make an effort on. Once again, just like with addition, step one, go ahead and make them improper. Okay? Should be pretty straightforward, just like we've been doing. We go through and make them improper, not paying too much attention to the negatives yet. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19. Over 8, and we know that the negative now goes with the numerator. Minus 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9 over 5. Now we know we need common denominators, so we have 8 and 5. We multiply them together. What we do to the bottom, we do to the top. 8 times 5, so we do 19 times 5. 5 times 8, so we do 9 times 8. 19 times 5 is 95. We know it's negative. Over 8 times 5, which is 40. Minus 9 times 8, which is 72. Over 5 times 8, which is 40. Now, since we are dealing with subtraction and negatives, the first step, or the next step, has to be to add the opposite. Remember, that means that you're leaving the first number alone. So we're leaving negative 95 over 40 alone. We change subtraction to addition, and positive 72 over 40 turns into negative 72 over 40. Now we can look at our signs. The first fraction and the second fraction both are negative. 95 over 40 is negative. 72 over 40 is negative. The signs are the same, so therefore we add. 95 plus 72 is 167 over 40, and we know we've got to keep the sign negative. So now we have to go through and simplify using our three numbers. We check 2. Can 167 be divided by 2? No. We check 3. Can 167 be divided by 3? No. We check 5. Can 167 be divided by 5? No. Therefore, chances are this fraction cannot be simplified any further. So our final answer is negative 167 over 40. You can go through and make it a mixed number if you're dying to, but you do not have to. Feel free to leave it like that because for graded response, it's got to be improper. Looking at the second one, first, please forgive the typo, the fact that it says plus. That should be a minus. So it should read negative 5 and 2/9 minus negative 8 and 1/3. Okay, now let's go through. First step, make them improper. Not stressing about the negatives yet. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 2 is 47 over 9, and we know 47 is going to be negative because it's negative 5 and 2/9. Minus 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25 over 3. We know it's going to be negative because it's negative 8 and 1/3. Now we can get our common denominator. You might be able to look at this and go, hey, 9 is a common denominator, or 18 is a common denominator. But if you couldn't, we can just go through and multiply our denominators. We said 9 times 3, so we're going to do 47 times 3. We said 3 times 9, so we're going to do 25 times 9. 47 times 3 is 141 over 9 times 3 is 27, and we know it's negative. Minus 25 times 9 is 225 over 3 times 9 is 27, and we know it's negative. Since we are subtracting with negatives, we have to add the opposite. The first fraction will stay the same. The first fraction stays the same. Subtraction turns into addition, and a negative 225 over 27 turns into a positive 225 over 27. Now we can look through and look at our signs. We notice that 141 over 27 is negative and 225 over 27 is positive. The signs are different. This means we're going to have to subtract. 225 minus 141. Have to borrow. And we get 84 over 27. Now, we know that this is going to, we know we can simplify, or we know we're going to have to simplify. So let's check our numbers. Can 2 go into 84 and 27? It can't go into 27. Let's check 3. 2 plus 7 is 9, and 8 plus 4 is 12. 3 can go into both 12 and 9, so therefore 84 and 27 can both be simplified by 3. 84 divided by 3 is going to give you 28. 27 divided by 3 is going to give you 9. So our final fraction is 28 over 9 because it can't be simplified any further. Now to determine if it's going to be positive or negative, 225 over 27 is larger than 141 over 27. And 225 over 27 is positive, therefore our final answer of 28 over 9 is positive.